Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for today's professional development session. If you have been on the FAU Library website at all in the last 20 days, you've noticed a whole new look. And we have with us today Lauri Rebar, who is going to take us on a guided tour through the library's new website. Thank you for joining us, Lauri.
Thank you. I'm going to be introducing you today to the library's new website. This is now 20 days old, and it's one that we hope you are going to be able to use with very little instruction. But there are certain things that as faculty, we know that you would like to be able to use. So what I'm going to do is start across the top and tell you where it says Florida Atlantic University. That's where you're going to be able to get back to the FAU main page. We have our library hours, and these are set up so that each particular day you will actually be able to see those hours. Ask a Librarian is going to be one of the best features for you to point out to students. Ask a Librarian is a statewide service that FAU Libraries uses and we participate in, and help is available by text, chat, and email. Text and chat being the ones that are the easiest and the fastest to use. And so students and faculty, actually it can be anybody in the state of Florida, can get help. It's for free and it's manned by librarians. So this is a great resource. It's open till midnight, 5 nights out of the week, the same nights that FAU Library is open until 2 a.m. So when students, if they're caught in a rainstorm, they don't want to go out, if they're in their dorm, if they're at home, they can always get help. And that's one of the things we want for people to know is help is available. We do have a search box here on the right, which is very functional, as you would hope and expect. Then we have some various tabs. So services, this is one of my favorite ones. And we keep on improving this, so feel free to go back to it. We've got some of the most used services here, and then you can also click on services itself, and you'll be able to do a search by name, by patron type. And so we've got a lot of different things, whether you're looking for the accessibility services for the web form, so that say you want to get an instructional session scheduled for your class, this is an easy place for you to go to. So we have all kinds of things for students and faculty that are available here. Under research, we have things that you would expect to find in research: archives, manuscripts. Another way for you to get to electronic journals, to our databases, which you also are going to find on the home page, and also the library catalog. Research assistance is one of my favorites, and we're going to go back to that, as well as subject and course guides. Our collections are what you would expect. These reflect our special collections, and our special collections have just a huge variety of things, from recorded sound archives, which is, as you would expect, recorded sound, and then also things like our print music collection. We house the university archives. We have the Spirit of America collection, which is a huge, amazing collection of everything relating to America and the documents that created America. We also have our government documents and maps, and our digital library collections. Some people may not be familiar with that, but our digital library is where you're going to find a repository for all of our theses and dissertations that students have produced. And we also have some faculty who have put their items in there, as well as some papers. We have some wonderful collections. Otherwise, highly encourage you to look at this. This may have information that you'd like to use in your class, and you may not even know it's there. And then in departments, you're going to see what you would expect to see: a list of departments, contacts, etc. And so we have a nice list here, and you'll notice we also have other locations other than Boca, because Boca is the main library, but it is not the only library. In the About Us, you're going to find a lot of things that you might think of as behind the scenes, but you'll also find the events calendar down here, staff directory, etc. And help is one of these that's also being updated. Ask a Librarian is a statewide service. It's free to use. It's open 5 nights out of the week till midnight. Nights. FAU Library is generally open till 2 a.m. So it's a great resource for students as well as faculty or anybody in the state of Florida. By clicking over here on FAU Libraries, you can always go back to our homepage. You can also do a search for things, and you'll see our services. One of my favorite things with services is that you can click in here, and you can see all of the different services. You can also sort by patron type, by campus. Now we're adding to this and making it more responsive. So feel free to come back and you will see different things and it will react just a little bit differently. Our website's only been up since the 8th of August. The web forms is one of my favorites because if you need to request instruction, you have something else that you think you would be requesting that would require a form, this is where you would be able to easily find all of the forms that we have.
For example, what?
To schedule an instructional session,
Okay.
to schedule, ask for a LibGuide to be created without having a class.
Okay.
So there, schedule a research consultation, those would be the main ones, as well as course reserves.
Okay, great.
So you'll find any of those types of things are going to be in here. And so you could just easily go here and search by name, by category, and locate the form. Research is one of my favorites because that's what I do a lot of is research. Archives and manuscripts you would expect to see, and you can see the electronic journals are listed here as well as a tab in the blue box. The index databases also is a tab in the blue box, as is the library catalog. I'm going to talk about the research assistance and subject course guides in just a minute, but these are two things that you need to be aware of and be able to use. Collections. We have the special collections, which includes many things. Jaffe Center for Book Arts, that's the book as art. The Marvin and Sybil Weiner Spirit of America collection. These are documents that show how America was formed and includes things from way, way in the past. And if you see me looking over to my right, it's because I happen to have a little bit of an audience here. So it's nice to talk to people directly. So I apologize for not looking at the camera all the time. Recorded sound archives is what you would expect. It is recorded sound, and we have a variety of collections there, jazz, Judaic. I know that I'm missing one or two. We're also the university archives. So you can expect to see a lot of things relating to FAU and its history in there. Departments is just what you would expect. You're going to be able to get to the various departments, contact people, have phone numbers, emails, etc. The About Us has a lot of the behind the scenes kind of things, like our strategic plan, great way to get directly to our policies and guidelines. And what I like to say about those is our policies and guidelines often encompass more than just okay, this is what we have, but sometimes it will be policies that you would want to be aware of as somebody using the library. So don't feel funny about going in there or thinking, oh, why did they send me to policies? Because a lot of these policies happen to be very closely related to what you can do in the library and how you might want to do it. We do have maps and directions to get to our various campuses. Boca is the main campus, but we do have a library in Jupiter up at the MacArthur campus, and we also have one at the Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute, or HBOI. Along with that, we share a facility which is at Broward, Maine, that's called the University/College Library, and then we also have some connection and work with the main library for Broward County. As you may know, the architectural students, their last 2 years are down in the Broward campus. So that accommodates what they need. Events calendar. So this is a great place to be able to find out what we have available for you, and then other information about staff. Our help is constantly changing. We're really excited about this because we did not have a big help page previously. So here's that Ask the Librarian I couldn't get into previously. You can see you can do text, chat, or email with the librarian. These two here on the left are the quickest ones. You can also see some of the FAQs here. and we're augmenting that on a continual basis. And it's not letting me go back, so let me go there. There we go. Subject librarian, so you want to know who to contact when you have a question about a particular topic, whether you're a student or a faculty member. This is a great resource because it's nice to be able to go directly to whoever it is you want to ask the question of. Students, faculty, staff can all request research consultation. And we do this oftentimes just one-on-one with faculty as we're going to be doing a class, giving an instructional session for their class so that we can find out what we can do to best meet the needs of the instructor and their class. We also work with Palm Beach State College. We are their library for the Boca campus of PBSC. Self-help resources, highly recommend. I've got to go here. This is our fun. We had so much fun putting this one together. We have tutorials and we keep on updating these, but in the past, they were all just kind of jumbled together, and we're really excited because they have a brand new, fresh look, and it's easy to find things by going to finding or research or services and see what it is we have. We've started during the summer, even recording a few of our workshops. So if you're interested in just browsing through and seeing what we have, you may find something that you didn't expect to see, and there now. And printing is a little different for our PBSC and guests, and so we even have videos for that. I was back here in help, and we also have a DIY guide. I'm going to point that out because oftentimes, especially your students, are going to be asking questions that are very common, like where do I go to start my research, or how do I pick a topic, or how do I know if the sources are good for my research? And so we have this guide that's available, and you can either start here or you could also go on the left side, but it's very simple. It's like looking at a Jeopardy or concentration board or something like that, and being able to put this information out here and give students the assistance that they need. These would be great if you want to go ahead and put links to them within your class guide, within your Canvas course. Make sure that you take advantage of things that we have so you're not recreating the wheel. And a lot of these are going to have links. So like this, we said, how do we choose a topic? Well, how do we choose a good topic? A lot of these will go back to our website. Some of these may even go out to other universities who have made particularly good items. And as long as we're linking, then that's a good thing to do. We don't want to embed them or anything like that because we could be in trouble. We don't know what their permissions are, but we can freely link to things. And so I highly recommend that you would do that. And I should be able to just click on FAU libraries here and go back to the home page also. So going back to my help, I have news, events, etc. FAQs, we're excited about this. We're just starting to build this, and we'd really like this to be a really meaty FAQs kind of page for people. Another thing that's really nice is glossary. A lot of times, students and probably faculty from time to time would like to come up with some nice definitions. And what we've done is we've created this, and we also have hyperlinks to anything else that is defined within here. So if we say refers to a scholarly resource, then you click here and it will take you to the definition for scholarly resource. So this will help you, I think, with your students to be able to, whether you want to just copy these kinds of definitions or refer them back here, you could definitely do that. Okay, software availability. Library has software on our computers. Good, right?
Yeah.
We have public computers, and then we have computer lab. We also have a graduate study lounge. Some people may not be aware of that. You have to be a graduate student currently studying and swipe your OWL card, and you get access to that lounge, which is really nice, and it's quiet. So
I actually had to have a graduate student card to get me into it. I couldn't get into it without her.
Yes, I'm dreading when I'm no longer a graduate student. 2 more classes and then I'll be done with that. But this is really nice to know. We also have things like Adobe Creative Cloud. We have the full Adobe Acrobat. Students use this when they're putting their theses and dissertations, and they're turning these into PDF documents. So keep in mind that we have a lot of different things. You can filter it by different software types and also just check and see what we have. So you all were wondering if I was going to get to this beautiful blue box. And this is one of our favorites. So OneSearch, we used to call this SearchWise. So if you're saying, what in the world is OneSearch? If you've used SearchWise in the past, then this is exactly the same thing. It works exactly the same. It just has a brand new name. So this is where you can search most of the items that the library has, including items from the library's catalog, from our databases. And our databases include journals. So I always use the example of you're looking for a journal article, it's found in a journal. Where's a journal found? It's found in a database. And so that sometimes makes it easier for students. Library catalog. I can go here and do a search for my library catalog. I can also look at all of the all of the state of Florida universities and colleges library catalogs here. Now, say I'm used to using the advanced search in library catalogs. All I have to do is not even fill in anything, just click on the magnifying glass, my search, and here I can go directly into my advanced search. So if this is what you were used to doing, it's very simple to get over there and do that. And I think I have to go down here and get back. Journals. You can do the same thing. You could click there, or we've made it easy for you. You can browse for electronic journals. So if you're not certain exactly what you'd like to see, what you'd like to search for, that's fine. You could enter a title, a subject, or an ISBN here. You could browse by the journal title alphabetically. You can also browse by discipline with the number to the right here, indicating how many items are found on that particular topic. So this makes
different journals.
How many different journals.
Wow.
So this is a great way to be able to, if you want your students to get familiar with the different journals that we have available for their topic, this is a great way for them to get familiar and for you to also see items that we may have that you didn't realize we had available. And then databases. We have a new look to our databases, and so I could put in a particular database, or I could go ahead and browse by title. Now, that's kind of misleading because actually, if you see up here, I could do it by subject in a broad way. I could also do it by database type. So if I was looking for electronic books, ebooks, or streaming videos, I could do that. Most people aren't going to be interested in vendors. You could also go back and search for the database here if you forgot to originally, and you can see all of the different databases. This is a fun thing right here. It says share, and if you click on this, this is where you're going to find the URL to be able to complete with Easy Proxy in front. So if students are going to be trying to get access from off campus, it's already going to prompt them for that, and this will take them directly to that database. So if you happen to be in a field where you'd like for them to search in a particular database, this makes it very easy for you to do that.
Nice.
So we're excited about that.
I wouldn't have thought about doing it that way. That's great.
Well, it makes it so simple because all you have to do is click and copy, do a right click and do copy. Notice it's even got read aloud, so it's set up for ADA purposes, which is fantastic. So I'm going to go back here to the library's homepage. So that completes the search box. And now we're going to go down here, computer availability. So you're in the library. You want to know what computers are free. You can go there, view or renew books. You want to go ahead and do that prior to the time that they are overdue. If they are overdue, then you must bring them in. You cannot renew overdue books online. Textbooks reserves. This is really exciting. We have textbook reserves now at Wimberley Library. And so you can go ahead and do a specific course reserve search, or you could go ahead and take a look and say, I'm looking for education. I'm looking for an EDF course. For EDF 2005, we happen to have this. And so this is a great way. If you click, this is going to take you directly to our library catalog.
I just saw my course.
All right, cool.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that most of these are going to be going out for a 2-hour loan period. So this is really a nice option for students and for you also as faculty, because you know that your students then, if it's there in the library, and especially if it's a face-to-face class, they should be able to get over there and use that. You've taken away their excuse.
And how does that work for an online?
For an online, you're going to have some which might be ebook reserves, and so those would be a possibility also.
Okay.
So our textbooks should be on there? No?
Only certain ones. Now, we've been trying to get the word out that if professors happen to have an extra copy, a desk copy or whatever, that they would like to contribute, this is a great way to be able to support students. And so we're trying to rally the troops, as it were, so that we're all working together on this project.
Good question. Thank you.
Yes. So we've got our textbooks reserves, borrow from anywhere. You may know that if you've been around as interlibrary loan, but for most of our students, they are not necessarily going to know what it means. So if we say borrow from anywhere, it makes it easy for them to get to interlibrary loan. We have some excellent FAQs, information about who's eligible. It defines if somebody is a full-time distance learning student, what they might be able to expect as far as interlibrary loans, because they do have ways to be able to get things. Just a lot of really good information here from our ILL department. And research guides. We've often called them LibGuides. That's the trade name, but they also are called as LibGuides. And research guides and resource guides, we've changed what we're calling it. You can browse by topic here. I'm going to go back to education. It shows me I have 27 guides. And when I look, I'm going to find a combination of different things, from actual items that might be of use in various programs to ones that may be specific programs that we have as degree programs. You'll also see things like a course. And so these would be indicative of courses that are taught during the particular semester.
Okay, so clarify that a little bit for me. The course I'm teaching, I could have you create a research guide for my course?
You could ask me to create a research, or ask us to create a research guide, yes. Or you could ask us to do an instructional session, which is typically 50 or 120 minutes long.
Okay.
And it can be done either in our instruction studio in the library, which seats about 35 or 36 students, or it can be done in your classroom. And when we do an instructional session, we typically also will be creating an instruction guide.
Oh, okay.
Like this, a course
Great.
guide.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yes. We enjoy doing that. Okay, let me get back here. So that's an easy way to get to research guides. And Off-Campus Connect. If anybody is off campus, this is the easy place to go. I'd mentioned research and told you I was going to get back there. Notice here it says subject course guides. That's the same as these research guides. So you can easily get there if you're already in research. And I'm going to go back to research assistance in a second. So we have lots of other new stuff, news and announcements, events and workshops, and you can go to the view all here. Our other locations, so you can get to their specific and individual sites. So it makes it really nice. They're all set up a little bit differently. They have different, they happen to have a recording studio, and they're highlighting their study rooms in Jupyter. So they're doing things that make sense for their campus. Strategic plan services, again, we're breaking these out so it will be easier if you're looking for faculty, staff, community, etc. I want to point this out, website suggestions. So you're looking at this and you say, this is really great, but we'd like to hear the but, or the suggestion, or the whatever it is.
Nice.
So please go ahead and let us know what your thoughts are. So I'm going to take you back here to research, because I want to take you to places that faculty especially want to go to. I'm going to go here to research assistance. It's a very simple page. In fact, it says ask a librarian. Remember, we talked about chat and text and email. Now a phone number for you, as well as the service desk, which is the circulation desk is the old name for it, but they do much more than circulation there now. And you can also go ahead, and we have the link directly to the individual consultation form and also to the DIY guide. So this is really nice. You can even click on the icons in most cases and go directly to the area that you want to go to. You'll notice we're in a new section. We're within the Instruction and Engagement Services department. I can see that because I have breadcrumbs here. And I can click right here to home, and now I can see a short listing of what to expect. There's where we just were, the research assistants. We have instruction services, teaching and learning resources, our workshops and tours, distance learner policies, make it easy for you to be aware of those and share those with your students, the video tutorials that I showed you, the guides, and computers, printing and copying. Students love to ask us those questions, and it's great for you to be able to know the answers also. And we also have some information with regard to us performing literature searches and literature reviews.
Whoa, wait, say that again?
Well, and that's why we have policies.
Oh, okay, got it.
Policies and forms. But our instruction services, this lets you know very simply, and everything is hyperlinked, what we have as far as instruction services, what can we do for you, the video tutorials, what you can expect, how to request instruction services, and you may have gotten at this particular page, but you actually wanted to see if you could get a class for Davy, and so here we give you all that information, and also our policies. I've mentioned that policies are an important thing for us all. I could go here to teaching and learning resources, and I'm really excited about this. This is a new feature. Christy Padrone is our instruction coordinator, and she put this together and did an excellent job. We have some new resources, CeL Information Literacy. This is a fantastic product to be able to use. If you take a look, there are 60 different modules that you can use. There are even a pre-test and a post-test. There's a companion guide, which will help you if you want to pull out additional features. Information if you want help to put the Credo InfoLit modules in, you want somebody to walk you through. I work with that, as does Tom O'Brien. And there's a short video here that explains it. But basically, I'll just take you into.
That's what I was going to say. So tell me what I can find in a Credo module.
So you can find things like getting started with research. So information about information literacy or the research process, or how to go about choosing a topic, how somebody could narrow a topic, thesis statements. You'll notice here, this is thesis statements, video, and quiz. Some of these say tutorials. So some of these are interactive tutorials. Some of these are videos, and the videos are all usually no longer than 4 or 5 minutes. So they're nice short chunks, and you can share these with your students. We have instructions for how to do this, and should make life really easy for you because you do not have to recreate that wheel. If you want to be able to talk about primary or secondary sources or research or peer review, all of that information is here. How to read scholarly materials, searching for information, whether you're choosing a database, learning to use keywords, different search techniques that you can use, how to refine your search results. Nothing like starting out with over 1 million. How do I do this? Evaluating information. So we know that's always a big topic because you cannot necessarily find everything you want in a database. And we know that our students are first trained in their minds to go to Google. So for us to be able to show them how they can evaluate information that they find is a huge thing for them to be able to carry with them through the rest of their lives. And this is neat too, because this also includes the objectivity in reporting, and also has 2 sections. Here has the fake news. Yes. Credo InfoLit came out with these, and they said we need to respond to what everybody is asking about. And so, introducing people to what bias is and why, what types of bias there are, and great ways for us to be able to present information for our students. Presenting research and data, so synthesizing information. I'm so happy I could say that word properly. And the anatomy of a research paper. We expect our students to be able to do this, but they don't necessarily know what it is that we're expecting. So this is great. And then citations. So you're going to get just very broad sweeps with these citations, but it's a great introduction. I happen to teach the APA boot camp, and so I know that this can be used just as an introduction to get students in to understand also plagiarism. Yay, plagiarism. Academic integrity. So you've got some resources here not to recreate the wheel.
So all of these things are available for me to simply add to my course, right?
Yes. You can put them in and you have the option of linking to them or embedding them in. And then your students will need to log in to get access because this is something that we actually have through FAU libraries. It's mandated by licensing that they show that they are associated with FAU. And so this is wonderful. They're all set up that way, but you can actually put quizzes in and they'll go directly to your gradebook.
Wow.
So we have a way to do all of that. So that's why I say contact Tom, contact me. Once you see it, it's going to be very simple. The other nice thing is, let me go back here. Okay, Credo Info Lit. You can go to the very end tab here and it says video tutorials. And Tom and I made short tutorials on how to add content or how to add quizzes, done 2 different ways. So that should make life a little
even
easier.
I could figure it out then.
And if you can't, that's what we're here for.
Okay.
Absolutely. So we've got a lot of different things. I know because we started a little late and because I didn't do things correctly with my computer, and I want to keep bringing you back through here because this is truly the easiest way to get into the instruction. The teaching and learning resources, you've got teaching resources. Assignment Builder lets you put articles, ebooks, other digital resources in the library collections, put them directly into your course. Am I correct that you would use that with your course, Judy?
Yes, I did.
And you liked it or didn't like it?
Yeah, it worked beautifully because I was able to hand select the articles that I wanted the students to read in order to get an overview perspective of the topic of curriculum and then reflect on what they had read. And it worked out fine. So I didn't have to send them through the 1.5 million articles search. I had selected the ones that I wanted them to see, and it worked out very well. Then they seemed very pleased with it as well.
Right, because Assignment Builder takes you directly to using a permalink, and it also includes that off-campus connect. So we've got lots of fantastic information here. It looks like I'm really at the very end of what I'm allowed to show you. We have workshops and tours. We have some scheduled. You can schedule one on your own. If you want one for your class, please feel free to ask. We're happy to do that. And as I mentioned, some of our workshops are actually being videotaped and are available. Our distance learners policies, these other ones are pretty self-explanatory, and I've looked through that literature searches. I'm going to kind of whet your appetite there and let you all go and see that yourselves.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll talk about that more in another presentation that we do.
Definitely.
But we are really excited about the website. We're excited to be able to share things about the library and let you know how your students can use it and how you can use it and how we can help you make life easier for you.
And even though it is 1 o'clock at this point, but we did not even pose that if you have some questions for Lauri, you can put them in the chat and we will either get back to you with them, or if you're able to stay on with us for a couple more minutes, we'll let her answer. So if you want to post any questions, please feel free to. This has been, it really looks very, very user-friendly to me, Lauri.
I think it is. And you can go right here and click on our staff and see all the wonderful people that I work with.
Oh, gosh, there's a funny little picture instead of Lauri.
Oh, I know. There's a funny picture there because I don't have one that has enough pixels in it. I need to find a good photographer. Do you know of one?
Well, we could probably find one somewhere around here.
Yeah, I was getting a pixelated picture and then we decided that the shadow looked better than the pixelated picture. Sorry.
But that also has phone numbers and emails on those.
Yeah, you can click
also. So
and
that's
you can
super.
click here too. And in some cases, we actually have ourselves linked to our profiles. So you could take a look here. Should all be linked and be able to see, does she know anything? Has she been anywhere? Has she written anything? Has she presented anything? did anybody ever think she did something good? And you'll be able to see that. So, yeah, it's lots of fun.
And Lauri, we had just a comment from Susan Bell saying that it was wonderful and thanking you for making this presentation, as we do as well.
Thank you. I've enjoyed this.
Anybody else have any questions or comments that you would like to ask or share? Well, we don't even need to send the link out because that's a pretty
library.fau.edu. And if you happen to have the old fau.edu/library, it's redirected to it at this point.
okay, great.
So I'm just going to flip through here as
Nice. As we're
waiting.
winding down,
Yeah.
that looks good. Oh, there's all kinds of places I want to go check out.
Yeah, we've got just some amazing information here. Oh, they just showed it through and it slid past the Alexander Hamilton
Oh,
exhibitions coming up. And this just occurred over this past weekend.
and it was delightful.
That's right, you attended. So all kinds of amazing things.
Thank you. We truly appreciate your taking the time to give us this guided tour. That's a huge help because it's easier to have someone point out some of the special places we need to go than to try to figure it out, although it looks very easy to use. I'm looking forward to trying it out.
Thank you. And please make sure and use that website suggestion box.
I will do. Will do. Thank you, Lauri. We appreciate it.
Thank you.